Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Brazen.
And your boy Double O.
Oh man, Double O, how you doing today, sir?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
All right. I'm digging it. Today, we're going to be talking about, I don't know, let's just say we've encountered some stupidity. Okay, stupidity on the horizon is what I call this one. Hey, listen, recently, Warren Buffett and his friend
And his body, his life body.
his homie, man. Okay, these guys were day one, the whole shebang. Anyway, they had their annual Berkshire Hathaway meeting, and in this meeting, a lot of valid things were said there, man. Especially when it comes to the state of the economy and things like that. Obviously, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, man, legendary guys. From their day, achieved a lot of things. Okay, they're where they are because they're very good at what they do. Now, I have one issue. Bitcoin is the future. Okay, Bitcoin is new money, but for some reason, for a group of guys who have the smartest of the smartest in the world of finance around them, for a group of guys that the general public look up to. I mean, I'm sure you've read a book from Warren Buffett, have you?
Oh yeah, not one, not two. As a matter of fact, I follow him. I still follow some of his rules of investing.
Okay.
Yup.
But it seems that there is a certain point that no matter how smart you are or successful you are at what you do, there is a point where for some people, once they get there, there's a block. And that blockage is the understanding of Bitcoin, the idea of a limited supply of something and how important that is to an economy. You understand what I'm saying? Look.
Can I bring Peter Shift into this conversation?
Bro. We might as well add Peter Schiff to the conversation because this is the same sort of thing we're talking about. Because all of these guys are smart. And so I don't want to just sit here and say that they're stupid.
No.
Because I think they know what they're doing. They're playing the game and they're very good at the game they play.
Too good at it.
Now, we want to give our reaction to this video from Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. Well, this is mostly Charlie Munger at their recent conference. So we're going to jump to the video and we'll come right back. Give you our take on it, right?
In my life, I try and avoid things that are stupid and evil and make me look bad in comparison with somebody else. And Bitcoin does all three. and in the first place, it's stupid because it's very likely to go to zero. The second place is evil because it undermines the Federal Reserve System and the national currency system, which we desperately need to maintain its integrity and government control and so on. And third, it makes us look foolish compared to the communist leader in China. He was smart enough to ban Bitcoin in China. And with all of our presumed advantages of civilization, we are a lot dumber than the communist leader in China.
Well. How about that one?
Man.
How about that one? Didn't see that coming, did you?
No, man. There was so many major points that they made in that conversation that I think we need to jump into. This is crazy.
One thing I think everyone needs to ask themselves is, what these guys are saying, does it make sense? Is Bitcoin really going to zero? Is it really stupid to be investing in it? And does it have no value? Let's take a look at some key points here to understand why they might be saying something like this. As we can see here, Warren Buffett first bought 100 million shares of Apple back in 2016, right? He has since added to that stake significantly, right? Now amassing over 36 billion in tech company shares, including the 11 billion in shares he cashed in last year. Over 3 billion that Berkshire has collected in dividends was worth over 134 billion at the end of last year. Now, in July 2020, all right, Sarah Tran wrote a piece, as you can see here on the slide we're sharing. Bank of America and Apple are the top two holdings for Berkshire Hathaway. And for someone who says that Bitcoin is going to zero, we can see that Bank of America back in 2020 was considering Bitcoin and Ethereum and other coins, other altcoins, as a matter of fact, as equivalent to cash. In 2021, Bank of America officially launched its cryptocurrency research division with a new 140-page report titled Digital Assets Premier. Here's the deal. I think these guys are at some point just blowing smoke, man.
It's no. It's stupid money, really. It's so like this is how the markets game is played, right?
Yeah.
For you to be able to enter into Apple in 2014, literally you are late. If I enter Apple at 2014, I'm kind of late to the big money. So he has so much stupid money.
Absolutely.
He can get it anytime.
I mean, dude, man, he can get it anytime, and that's good for him, man. Do what you want to do. However, my issue is, okay, this guy is on national TV all the time, and there are people who listen to him. And when people listen to you, obviously, there's some expectation of responsibility to the people. And I think I will not say that this would be the best people to listen to when it comes to blockchain
Bitcoin.
technology and the future.
I
Because they
will
were great
repeat.
investors. They were great investors. I don't get me wrong. This is not a
They
roast
still
session.
are. They still are. Look,
Yeah,
dude just
yeah.
made billions from
know,
dividends
but-
in Apple. Just
well,
Apple alone.
Look, man, maybe that's where we may differ. I don't know if I would say they still are. Okay, they move their weight around and make things happen. That is great as well. Not a bad thing.
That's invested. That's still
hey,
invested.
Hey, it is what it is. Look, man, we look at it differently a little bit, but I think investing there's an art to it, man. It has to be poetic, almost. But, but no, here's the thing. I think he has missed so many opportunities like this one, right?
Microsoft.
Yeah, right. And this guy's a great investor. This is not a roast session for these guys or anything like that. Obviously, they have an amazing track record, right? I mean, if I had a balance sheet like this, my dude, okay, I will not really be rushing to hop into Bitcoin or whatever, because the risk is not necessary.
No,
After
it's
you
not.
cross a certain, when you cross a certain net worth, I mean, I get it. So if Warren Buffett buys Bitcoin, what is that going to do for him? The guy is 90 years
Exactly.
old.
That's what I call
You know?
smart investing. I am totally agreeing with you. Audience, you go ahead and comment, and let us know what you think. I think what Warren is doing is really smart. Bank of America, which is the second largest holding, actually is getting into crypto, but it's telling you, he and his bodies is telling you not to get into it. You know why? So that they can accumulate. If they can accumulate, and you are not buying, institutions take over, and why you're like, oh, you're busy here saying, oh no, Warren told me not to buy it. Almost like Tesla. That is the game plan. And look here, on this slide, for example, right? Look at its assets. It still has hundreds of millions of dollars in stable assets. Very low risk. The risk is there, but low risk. The guy is making money without even taking high level risk. It does not need to put all those trillions of dollars at risk.
The whole point of this is just to say, well, you should be able to listen to people and take what is beneficial to you, and be able to cancel out the noise. Because the biggest issue is just this idea they keep selling that Bitcoin is going to zero. Now, as we watch the conference, or at least the snippet of the video, it only keeps getting worse, right? So he says it makes us look stupid. Bitcoin makes us look stupid compared to the communist leader in China who banned Bitcoin. Right?
This guy was people were even clapping when you said that. Who claps when we're talking about
dude,
communist China?
That is the insane thing about the whole situation. Look, Munger's Daily Journal, right, shows that Alibaba is his third largest holding, making about 14% of his portfolio. Right?
Yep.
Now, the question for me is, could it be that your take on Bitcoin is guided by your portfolio interests? I mean, personally, I wouldn't speak recklessly of China either. If I knew that Xi Jinping can squash Alibaba, thereby squashing my whole portfolio.
Oh, jeez.
And I agree with you as well. An applause for calling your country stupid compared to the communist leaders' actions against Bitcoin. Geez, man, America is lost. I guess that is. It's a bit strange for me. It's just
I think
it's a bit baffled with this
No,
one.
I'm not baffled, man. I think it would be stupid of Charlie to not call America stupid when he has so much money with China.
Hey, look, I think that they're playing both sides of the aisle.
They are
playing both sides of the
playing
aisle,
both
right?
sides, man.
It's all about the money, right?
Yes, sir.
But look, man, make your money. It is what it is. But I think that there are certain things that, man, just looks absolutely questionable. And people are applauding for him after he literally just said, "We're dumb over here," compared to the Chinese.
Hey,
I
just
thought
call
that
us
one
stupid,
was-
man.
Yeah,
Just
I thought
call
that
us
was
stupid.
yeah, that was a very interesting situation there. Now, the next thing that we know, the gentlemen of Berkshire Hathaway were keen to share with us was the evil that Bitcoin is. And according to him, Bitcoin is evil because it's undermining the Federal Reserve System. Now, the Federal Reserve System, of course, authorized in 1913 by the US government, right? Its core function was to maintain a low level of inflation, right?
What just happened today?
Its policies have actually aggravated inflation, man. Now, the regional reserve banks, which is also actually something that was very interesting to me, all the regional reserve banks are actually privately owned, and most of their directors are chosen by the stockholders. Of course, one of the other things that we know these guys are doing is the money printing, non-stop, or to be proper, as they would call it, quantitative easing, right? My favorite quote on this one was, I think we were in Miami when there was one guy who called it legalized counterfeiting, which is very interesting because it makes sense because you can print money from home, really, but it's legalized when the government does it. Now,
Yep.
adding on to that, we also know that the Federal Reserve has no transparency, right? There is no one that really audits the Federal Reserve per se, and I would like to know what happens in those meetings, right, when they're back there, because this is, after all, what would you say, the community's money?
I'm not going there. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what money is. It is at this point. It's crazy because they have the minutes and then they just give you the minutes of the meeting, and you have to wait to get the minutes of the minutes. So if the Federal Reserve is supposed to serve the federation, which is the country, why is it that everything that they do is in private and it takes a while for you to know in public? Well, I know part of it is because of they're trying to protect the country in a way so that people don't react rationally to what they know. But the reality is that people know. People that know people know, and they make business decisions on that. I think the elite get to make those decisions, whereas the rest of us get to react. And I don't want to get into the politics of that.
Well, look, man, we do know that the Federal Reserve and their actions are definitely not helping the system. If you look at money, money is supposed to be a store of value, right? Holding that value over time, either increasing in value, or at least maintaining that value. But in the past 2 to 3 years alone, as we can see, we've lost over 8% of our dollar value to inflation. Now, Warren Buffett also says that they are holding a lot of cash at this time. I understand the value of money might mean something different for both of us, right? Obviously, we're in very different tax brackets, but but what this man is telling us right now is that he's voluntarily choosing to lose 8% of his dollar to inflation. What part of any investing strategy is it to lose money to inflation or anything?
When you have stupid money, you can
Okay.
do that. When you're in a position like me, my money's gotta be at work. Every single penny gotta be at work. It would be
Right.
stupid of me not to put my money in the market to go to work instead of me staying here and saying, "Oh, I have so much money, I'm just gonna sit and wait." He gets to do that. So we're in, like you said, we're in different tax portfolios. So I cannot make decisions based on his recommendation in this case.
This is
That's what
very
people
true.
gotta start doing more of, asking questions, start evaluating your own position instead of whatever they're saying all the time.
Absolutely. I think people definitely have to be evaluating stuff like that, because especially with all the cash that is printed, right? I don't think it would be stupid to want to protect your wealth by buying something that is of a limited supply, right? Let's not forget that it was just in 2020 when this chart happened. Okay, the Federal Reserve printed over 35% of the money that all the dollars that exist ever from the beginning of time in a space of 10 months, right? And I'm pretty sure we're way above that at this point in time. So to buy something that where your wealth cannot be debased, like we have seen with the dollar, I will not call that stupid, and I will not look at that as an asset that will be going to zero. So that
I wouldn't even call it zero. I mean, I won't call it evil.
it is not evil. It is not evil. That's for sure.
I mean, if it's evil,
I would say
what
that
bad
chart-
has it done to anybody?
I would say that M1 money supply chart is evil, because that was in some ways, in some way, you could look at that as taking from everyone at the same time, putting it very nicely there, you know.
Yep. So this right here is, I think, is super amazing because again in that same video it was saying that people are becoming extremely tribal,
Right.
and I was thinking to myself, is it stupid of me to be tribal because you were tribal as well? You were tribal, and that's what made you successful. And now people are trying to be tribal with whatever it is, maybe investing in crypto or Bitcoin, and you're saying that that is wrong. I don't think that makes people stupid. I think that makes people smart like you were when you were much younger. That's just the way I see that.
And I think part of this as well, I think some of their own strategies potentially hold them back. Because obviously this guy's Warren Buffett is known as the Oracle of Omaha. I mean, you have to do something to earn,
That
a
title,
title
yeah.
like that.
Yep.
But when you have such a massive title, when you're seen as such a legend, okay, and you miss some of the greatest investment opportunities, right? And then you had to chase them, just like he chased Apple, and just like, well, he missed Tesla. I know he's not chased it yet, but he's still right. He's still missing Tesla. At the point in time, it would almost seem to me that, look, man, this guy was absolutely great back in his days when we were in the industrial revolution phase, and that's what was prominent back then. That is what was great. But we're now in a time when it's forward, forward thinking. It's all about technology. I would not expect him to know about it. Maybe his company does not brief him about it, but the way he talks about it, and he says he does not know anything about it, I just wonder to myself, what is the purpose of allowing this sort of information to be spewed out there? Is he just being stubborn? Which, look, if he's being stubborn, okay, I would also understand that, because these people have been denying Bitcoin forever, right? And we have another video here which I'd like to just get a reaction from, because this shows how far back this has been going on.
I mean, it does not meet the test of a currency. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not around in 10 or 20 years. People say, well, I'll sell you goods in Bitcoins, but they change the price of those every time the price of the dollar changes in relation to Bitcoin. They're pricing off the dollar. They could say, well, I'll sell it to you in barrels of oil, but if every time the price of oil changes, they change the number of barrels you have to have. That's not your oil is not the currency.
Curious of your thoughts on
Stay
that.
away from it.
Stay away from
Well, it's a
Bitcoin.
mirage, basically. I mean, it's
At the same time, these guys have missed 38,000% of a move on Bitcoin back since 2013 when they called it rat poison.
I have to say though that Warren did admit that he does not know tech, so he seldom invests in tech. But for someone that does not know tech, then you should not make comments on something that you don't know.
Exactly.
Right? So which is why I disagreed with what you just said earlier about the changing of Bitcoin to the dollar and so on and so forth. The reality is that he just does not know tech. He's making stupid money with everything else that he does not necessarily need to get into tech for him to understand it. So even though he's missing out 3,000 plus % on Bitcoin and other tech opportunities like Tesla, or even Microsoft itself, then what are you to say? I think it would be stupid of us to say, okay, I want to listen to Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger on this particular topic because it's not their area of expertise.
It is not their area of expertise. What baffles me is why the professionals invite them on to talk about Bitcoin all the time. That is a concerning pattern. Look, and from their views, obviously, they've determined that this does not have any value, which, hey, look, it is what it is. They can choose that this Bitcoin is not of value to them. But I want to remind everyone that the free markets determine what value is, right? Mm-hmm. It's not determined by Warren Buffett or
Fox
Charlie
News
Munger.
or CNBC.
Exactly, or CNBC. Now, of course, there's price manipulation and things like that. This is exactly why I think that investing in Bitcoin to protect your wealth is definitely a good idea. Investing in an asset that has been going up, what is it? Was it 10% or is it 200%
average? 200% year. Yeah. 200% year over year.
I would say that is not an unreasonable thing or something stupid to be investing in, right? Individual sovereignty. I think that people want their privacy. I think we can all agree on that. It's definitely not stupid to be investing in something like that. And of course, you have your environmental benefits, right? If anything, I think people like him should be investing in technology like this because a lot of their money was made during a time when they wrecked the environment, right? I mean, if you look at some of his top holdings, oil and gas, but we're all talking about improving the environment. But you guys are out here shorting Tesla. But that's the thing too. If these guys are so sure, why not short Bitcoin? If it's going to zero, I think it would be the trade of your life. Wouldn't you want to short Bitcoin from where it is right now?
Too many people have lost money doing that, and I think it still loves the billions of dollars that they have in this portfolio that I don't think is going to do that.
Yeah.
I will also add that if you're investing in Bitcoin, you're investing in your own personal freedom. We just talked about the Federal Reserve. We all know what's going on right now with the increase in federal interest rate, and that's how that's impacting your dollar. If you invest in Bitcoin, that would hold more value than the dollar itself because the dollar just gets to move whatever direction based on wherever the Federal Reserve decides is going to go. And I don't think that's the intent of money. And Bitcoin is trying to give you that sovereignty, that freedom back. And I think that's why Bitcoin is a better answer than just the dollar.
Absolutely. Look,
better than just saving your money.
I think Bitcoin is what they call superior money, right? It has all the qualities of money. So, I don't know. And I think the more people learn about these things, the better we're all out for it.
Yep.
But I think at the end of the day, with this one, I would say I think we can all agree that Mr. Warren Buffett and I can never remember both of them.
Charlie Munger.
I either say Munger and his friend or Buffett and his friend. But the bottom line here is I think that their input or their guidance on Bitcoin is irrelevant. Is what I
agree. I agree.
Anyway, we just wanted to give our reaction on the situation, give our take on the situation. This was a great one. Until next time, Brazen out.
Double O out. Don't spend stupid money.
Hey.